Are the Kongjai stars really that important? Many teachers will tell you that the Kongjai stars are very scary. If fortune tellers don't scare you, how are they going to get you to buy a reading? Today, let's talk about whether the Kongjai stars are really important. Of course they're important. What man doesn't love a flight attendant? Wait, no, I mean the Kongjai stars. Are these two stars really that important in our natal chart? The Kongjai stars refer to Dikong and Diji. We've actually made videos about Kongji before, and it's really interesting. No matter how we film our videos or how I write about it in my blog and books, or even when I'm teaching in class, the whole concept of Kongji requires an entire class, 3 hours, to really explain it thoroughly, but still, there are always a lot of people who, even many students, as soon as the class starts, when I'm just teaching the most basic main stars, they can't help but ask, "Oh, teacher, I have Kongji in my spouse palace. How do I explain this? What should I do? It's so scary." Why is that? Because you see, out there are so many teachers and so many books that will tell you that Kongji is extremely frightening. It's terrifying, really terrifying. Just how terrifying is it? If you have Kongjai in your career palace, you might as well get ready to start practicing asceticism. If Kongjai is in your fortune or life palace, you should probably prepare yourself to eat vegetarian and chant Buddhist scriptures. The books will tell you that encountering Kong means you're like a boat sailing in the waves, as if you're navigating a ship through rough seas. It's bumpy and very dangerous. Or they might say it's like breaking your wings in midair, flying high, and then suddenly your wings snap and you fall. Why are there so many shocking and sensational claims like this? Well, I have to say, if a fortune teller doesn't scare you, how else are they going to make money, right? In the whole field of fortune telling, most marketing tactics are based on fear-mongering. They'll tell you, look at this, next year you'll encounter Kong, so next year is definitely going to be terrible for you. Do you want to come and get a remedy? Do you want to get a talisman? Do you want to fix something? That's how they get you to pay. Or in some related industries, there are also a lot of scare tactics involved, like in direct sales, for example. They'll tell you that if you don't take this or that health supplement, something bad will happen to you, and they'll keep piling on the consequences. This kind of approach is pretty common in these circles. So you need to be aware. If someone in fortune telling starts trying to scare you, you should question whether what they're saying is really true. Is it really that frightening? If it's not actually that scary, then why do the books say so? A lot of books, or teachers who make videos, or those who appear on TV, will all tell you things like, when you encounter an inauspicious period, you might need to donate money or do this and that. Otherwise, they'll warn you that something bad will happen to you. If it's really that serious, then why do these people say such things? Aside from using fear as a marketing tactic. Is there really no truth to any of this? Today, let's talk about this again with everyone, or rather, let's highlight the key points once more. Why does the concept of empty periods even exist? We don't need to get into that discussion here. The true purpose of these two empty period stars is that for those who truly understand Zi Wei Doshu, they will know that the origin of Doshu actually comes from Indian astrology, which was then combined with the I Ching and Qi Men Dun Jia. Then, during the 200 years from the Ming to the Qing dynasty, it gradually merged into a complete system of fate calculation. It was truly perfected in the middle of the Qing dynasty. It is actually a very complete and well-structured system of fate. Once you understand its historical background, you will realize that these two empty period stars are only used in the context of palaces, positions in the chart. What they signify is that during a certain period of time, the things you do, in the end, you might lose it, or it might not turn out as you imagined. It may not be possible to keep it. But this only applies within a certain period of time. That's why we often say that the key point of the empty period star is that in the end, you will have nothing left. Eventually, everything will be gone. What does eventually mean? The emphasis is on the word eventually itself. What does the word eventually mean? It represents the period before time runs out. It's like with pork chop rice. Is the main point the rice? Of course not. It's the pork chop, right? That's the logic behind Chinese characters. So when we say eventually, you will have nothing left. The key point is that word eventually. If you don't have it before time runs out, does that mean you never had it at all? Of course not. If you lose it before time is up, that doesn't mean you never had it. Generally speaking, people with the flight attendant star in their destiny chart are said to eventually become monks, pursue spiritual cultivation, and so on. Why is that possible? Because in the end, everything turns to dust, or everything returns to peace. For example, someone might have run a huge business, but in their later years, they end up selling the company. Returning to peace. This is what is meant by eventually having nothing. But does that mean being in debt, losing money, or having absolutely nothing? Actually, that's not what it means. Now think about it. Why do they end up pursuing spiritual cultivation? We often have a negative perception of spiritual practice, thinking that only people who suffer go down that path. But Those who truly understand religion will know that if you are really suffering, even if you want to become a monk, they won't accept you. Oh, it should be that your mind has already found peace, and you feel that you've completed all the duties you were meant to fulfill in this life, completely finished them. It's not about running away or avoiding your responsibilities. That's a different matter. It's like saying, I've finished my homework, I've turned it in. It's not like, oh, the homework is too hard, I don't want to do it anymore. Oh, that's different. So you really have to be at peace in your heart for others to truly honor you. Of course, I'm not talking about those who are just out to make money, accepting anyone and anything, just trying to trick you into joining and paying fees. That's a different matter. A legitimate religion should be like this. It's about seeking to complete the lessons of this life, and then pursuing a peaceful mind in one's later years. That's how it should be. So, in this kind of situation, who do you think would ultimately be the ones practicing cultivation? Someone who is suffering? No. It would definitely be someone whose heart is content. It wouldn't be someone who is suffering. So at this point, when they have finally let go of everything, they should actually feel happy. In ancient texts, it's true that there are records of people who are said to be destined for spiritual cultivation. But in today's world, this idea has been distorted as if it means you have a bad fate or something like that. Some students might say, oh, teacher, but I have a relative whose destiny is said to be empty and he's really unlucky. He started a company with someone and it failed. He got married and then divorced. His children grew up and don't want him. When he went to a fortune teller, they said his fate is to be empty, that in this life, he's destined to struggle halfway, and in the end, he's meant to pursue spiritual cultivation. It's best if he quickly goes out to cultivate himself now and donates a lot of money to solve this problem. But students, have you ever thought that maybe it's other aspects of his chart influencing these things and not that so-called empty fate? This kind of mistaken concept is misleading you. In the world of fate and destiny, everywhere you look, people say, oh, you're a tiger, your husband is this or that. As long as there are bumps and stumbles, or if something happens by accident, they'll say it's because you're overcoming your sun sign fate. Or if your husband isn't working diligently and you nag him a bit, he'll just say, oh, it's because of the sun's influence. They attribute all sorts of things to the sun sign, but never discuss that. In fact, it's the other aspects of the chart that are at play, not the so-called empty fate in reality. Usually, if someone truly knows how to read a birth chart, you'll realize this. Those issues can appear in any house. If he divorces his wife, it's due to issues with the marriage fate line. If there are issues with his children, it's due to issues with the fortune path line. If he has trouble with business partners, it's due to issues with the fate, career, or wealth line. It's never just one sector. As for where the void and not stars are located, it just means that the energy of that house can't be fully expressed, or there's no opportunity for it to manifest its power. But does that mean all problems should be attributed to that area? Of course not. So why would someone make such a claim? It's simple. The teacher who said that doesn't study properly. So they attribute all the faults to a single thing. And this kind of argument is very persuasive to consumers, easy for them to understand, and also makes it easy to charge money. That's generally the main reason why some fortune tellers say things like this. But if you look at it from a timing perspective, not just the natal chart, for example, if I look at a 10-year cycle or annual luck, then admittedly it's a different matter. Indeed, during this 10-year period or annual luck, the things that are supposed to happen in the house where your air hostess star is located may eventually dissipate and disappear. This is also true. But does that mean it's bad? Actually, not necessarily, because think about it. Both good things and bad things could disappear. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Second, does it mean that everything will be gone? Actually, that's not the case either. From a theoretical perspective, you need to look at the specific situation. For example, if my major luck cycle has Taibo, Guang, Fengkong, and Jie, and during this entire period, I want to invest in a fried chicken shop. Just selling fried chicken cutlets. Come on, selling fried chicken cutlets. Usually you can break even in half a year, and after making money for 3 to 5 years, you'll probably be exhausted and ready to hand it over to someone else. So isn't that just ending up with nothing in the end? I sell my fried chicken shop and the money goes right into my pocket. That's great. But what if you're investing in some kind of long-term business? Then, for something that takes 10 years, you might have to consider whether you can actually make it through those 10 years. This is undeniably something you have to think about. In this kind of situation, if something happens, isn't it like getting cut off halfway? I planned for 20 years, but what if in the 8th year something happens? So, I might have to sell the company at that point. It's like flying halfway and then falling down. Of course, there will be arguments like this, but this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's very possible that in the 8th year, someone offers such a great price that I'm actually happy to sell it. So this is a very important point. That's why when we're teaching in class, we often tell students not to worry about scalability, because most of the time you won't actually encounter issues that require you to deal with scalability. Think about it. Most of the things we have to deal with What is meant to happen will still happen, right? Of course, you might say that fleeting romance, the red Luan star, and the empty nodes, this is what it means to end up with nothing. That's right. It's also called letting you row your boat. And halfway in the air is also correct, because this month I happen to meet someone I really like. A beautiful girl from America, and I'm going to pursue her. There are a lot of problems. She was supposed to be with me, but then someone else snatched her away. As for emptiness, of course, that happens too. But whether you can make it happen in a short period of time depends on your skills at picking up girls. If your skills are good enough and you can win her over in a month, then you could at least keep it going. Start pursuing her in January, get together by February, and it could last until October, right? So there's still a chance. At the very least, you could enjoy 10 months of happiness. Oh, but if your skills at pursuing girls aren't that great and it takes you longer, then there's a chance you'll experience that feeling of emptiness in the middle. What about 10 years? You might ask, teacher, if it's 10 years, does that mean I have to get divorced within 10 years after getting married? Well, to be honest, that's not necessarily the case. More likely, it just means that your relationship with your partner isn't as passionate as it was in the first 10 years of marriage, that's all. After all, people often become more like family after getting married. So it really depends on the situation. Because this kind of thing requires time to judge, in fact. For most things, we never even encounter them. That's also why, in the beginning, we really don't need to pay so much attention to the concept of spatial mind. In fact, that's why, actually, in Taiwan, there are some very skilled and powerful schools of thought that don't use spatial mind at all, yet they can still make very accurate predictions. It's because of the reality of the situation. In fact, we rarely actually encounter it. So do we need to pay attention to it? Of course we do, but there's no need to be so fearful or anxious about it. Sometimes, for example, if your wealth palace is affected by legal troubles, having spatial mind means that these legal issues will eventually disappear. Isn't that something to be happy about? So I still want to tell everyone that many times when it comes to things in metaphysics, behind it all, there's a lot of marketing involved. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of calculation. And it's full of commercial activity. That's why these kinds of scare tactics come about. But actually, this isn't just something that happens in the metaphysics community. It happens in many other areas too. For example, sneaker brands will tell you that if your shoes don't have air cushions, you'll twist your ankle playing basketball. Everyone uses these tactics to some extent. Is it reasonable? Sometimes it might be true, but is it really that scary? Because metaphysics is an area that lacks clear values and standards. So of course, all sorts of strange statements are more likely to appear, making it hard for us to tell what's real. But when you use logical thinking and truly understand the real meaning of metaphysics, you won't be fooled by these claims. So, is the empty star important or not? The empty star is very important. However, we don't need to worry about it just because it's important. Sometimes, in the virtual community, in our learning circles, everyone knows that if you use the empty star well, life will be free of worries. On a natal chart, malefic stars often appear in more places than beneficial ones, so the empty star can just happen to neutralize those malefic stars. Finally, let me tell everyone, the key point about the empty star is that within a certain time limit, it's possible. The things you originally worked hard for, or the disasters you were supposed to encounter, in the end, may not happen at all. Therefore, what we really need to consider is the magnitude of the matter and the time frame involved. Only then can we judge whether it will actually occur. In many cases, it simply won't happen, nor will there be any such signs. So most of the time, in the vast majority of situations, it depends on, especially for beginners, there's really no need to pay attention to these two stars at all. Thank you, everyone.
I think he's very good at teaching because he knows quite a few secrets to being good at it, but not every one of them is something he'll teach in his lessons. Also, his academic background is quite systematic. Later on, I went to learn it, but at first I didn't intend to become a fortune teller. I was just learning out of personal interest. Honestly, I just wanted to see my own ranking. I never thought about helping others interpret their fortunes. It was only later, because of work, that I often started meeting different kinds of people. Sometimes when chatting with some friends who seemed pretty mischievous, I'd ask them, hey, how do you handle things? I'd tell them about their local friends, their own personality traits, and most people would be really touched. That's how I made a lot of friends. Because of this, it brought us closer together. It's actually quite interesting.